Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My children are in the living room and all three of them are awake. My two boys never took a nap because they never do. They always seem to just go in their room and play with toys and be loud and fight the crap out of each other. I know that sounds bad, but that's what they do, the boys. So we're going to try to read more than 2 chapters today. We're going to try to finish the book of Exodus, which hopefully we can get through it because my children are in the room next door, which is the living room. So hopefully we can get that finished. So let's get started. Chapter 38, Making the Altar Burnt Offering. What? Well, thank you. You made that for me, didn't you? Okay, well, are you okay? Thank you for that. I will hang it up on the fridge in a second. Will you go in the room and be good so I can finish reading? And when I'm done reading, we can. What's wrong with your ear? When I'm done reading. It is a beautiful day out, but it's cold. So when I get done reading, we'll do some coloring. And then if it's not too cold, we'll go outside, okay? Does that sound like a plan? Chest hurts? Why? Okay, your chest should not be hurting at 5 years old. Go sit down, try to relax. You guys have been fighting, so maybe that's what it is. Okay, chapter 38. Making the altar a burnt offering. Bezalel altar a burnt offering from acacia wood. It was square, 7.5 feet long and 7.5 feet wide, and it was 4.5 feet high. He made horns for it on its 4 corners. The horns were of one piece with it. Then he overlaid it with bronze. He made all the altar's utensils, the pots, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. He made all its utensils in bronze. He constructed for the altar a grate of bronze mesh under its ledge poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. Then he inserted poles into the rings on the sides of the altar in order to carry it with them. He constructed the altar so that it was hollow, making the bronze basin. He made the bronze basin and its stand with the bronze mirrors of the women who served at the entrance to the tent of meeting, making the courtyard. Then he made the courtyard. The hangings on the south side of the courtyard were of finely spun linen, 150 feet long, including their 20 posts and their 20 bronze bases with silver hooks and silver bands for the posts. The hangings on the north side were 150 feet long, including their 20 posts and their 20 bronze bases. The hooks and the bands of the posts were silver. The hangings on the west side were 75 feet long, including their 10 posts and their 10 bases and their silver hooks and the silver bands for the posts. And for the east side toward the sunrise, 75 feet long. The hangings on one side of the gate were 22.5 feet, including their 3 posts and their 3 bases. It was the same for the other side of the court gate. The hangings were 22.5 feet, including their 3 posts and their 3 bases. All the hangings around the courtyard were of finely spun linen, and the bases for the posts were of bronze. The hooks and bands of the posts were silver, and the plating for the tops of the posts were silver. All the posts of the courtyard were banded with silver. The screen for the gate of the courtyard was made of finely spun linen, expertly embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. It was 30 feet long, and the like hangings of the courtyard 7.5 feet high. It had 4 posts for their 4 bronze bases. Their hooks were silver, and their top plating and their bands were silver. All the tent pegs for the tabernacle and for the surrounding courtyard were bronze. Inventory of materials. This is the inventory for the tabernacle testimony that was recorded at Moses' command. It was the work of the Levites under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron, priest. Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything that the Lord commanded Moses. With him was Aholabab, son of Ahish, Samek of the tribe of Dan, a gem cutter, a designer, and a mortar with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. All the gold of the presentation offering that was used for the project and all the work of the sanctuary was 2,193 pounds, according to the sanctuary shekel. The silver from those of the community who were registered was 7,544 pounds, according to the sanctuary shekel, 1/5 of an ounce per man, that is half a shekel, according to the sanctuary shekel, from everyone 20 years old or more who had crossed over to the registered group. 603. Damn, it's been a minute since I've been in school. I'm like, what the frick is this number? 603, 550,000 men. There were 711,500 pounds of silver used to cast the bases of the sanctuary and the base of the curtain. 100 bases from 7,500 pounds, 75 pounds for each base, with the remaining 44 pounds. He made the hooks for the posts, overlaid their tops, and supplied bands for them. The bronze of the presentation offering totaled 5,310 pounds. He made with its bases for the entrance to the tent of meeting, the bronze altar and the bronze gate, all the utensils for the altar, the bases of the surrounding courtyard, the bases for the gate of the courtyard, all the tent pegs for the tabernacle, and all the tent pegs for the surrounding courtyard. Chapter 39, Making the Priestly Garments. They made specifically woven garments for the ministry and the sanctuary, and the holy garments for Aaron from the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Making the ephod. Bezalel made the ephod of gold, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely spun linen. They hammered out thin sheets of gold, and he cut threads from them to interweave with the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and the fine linen in a skillful design. Shoulder pieces for attaching it. It was joined together at its two edges. The artistically woven waistband that was on the ephod was of one piece with the ephod, according to the same workmanship of gold, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely spun linen, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then they mounted the onyx stones surrounded with gold filigree, settings engraved with their names of Israel's sons, as a gem cutter engraves. He fastened them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the Israelites, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Making the breastpiece. He also made the embroidered breastpiece with the same workmanship as the ephod of gold, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely spun linen. They made the breastpiece square, a folded double, 9 inches long and 9 inches wide. They mounted 4 rows of gemstones on it. The first row was a row of cornelian, topaz, and emerald. The second row, a turquoise, a lapis lazuli, and a diamond. Third row, a jacinth, and a agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, an onyx and a jasper. They were surrounded with gold filigree in their settings. The 12 stones corresponded to the names of Israel's sons. Each stone was engraved like a seal with one of the names of the 12 tribes. They made braided curtains of pure gold cord for the breastpiece. They also fashioned 2 gold filigree settings and 2 gold rings attached to the 2 rings to its 2 corners. Then they attached the 2 gold cords to the 2 gold rings on the corners of the breastplate. They attached the other ends of the 2 cords with the 2 filigree settings, and in this way they attached them to the ephod shoulder pieces in the front. They made 2 other gold rings and put them at the 2 other corners of the breastpiece on the edge that is next to the inner border of the ephod. They made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the bottom of the ephod's 2 shoulder pieces on its front, close to its seam, above the ephod's woven waistband. Then they tied the breastpiece from its rings to the rings of the ephod with a cord of blue yarn, so that the breastpiece was above the ephod's waistband and did not come loose from the ephod. They did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Making the robe. Hey, Gord. Hey, Walter. I'm assuming it's you, because you're always here. Making the robe. They made the woven robe of the ephod entry of blue yarn. There was an opening in the center of the robe, like that of body armor, with a collar around the opening so that it would not tear. They made pomegranates of finely spun blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and on the lower hem of the robe. They made bells of pure gold and attached the bells between the pomegranates, all around the hem of the robe between the pomegranates, a bell and a pomegranate alternating all around the lower hem of the robe to be worn for ministry. They made it just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Other priestly garments. Walter lives here. He does. They made the tunics of fine woven linen for Aaron and his sons. They made the turban and the ornate headbands of fine linen, the linen undergarments of finely spun linen, and the sash of finely spun linen, expertly embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. They did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Making the holy diadem. They made a medallion, the holy diadem, out of pure gold, wrote on it an inscription like the engraving on a seal, holy to the Lord. They attached a cord of blue yarn to it in order to mount it to the turban, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Moses' inspection of the tabernacle. So all the work for the tabernacle, the tent of the meeting, was finished. The Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent with all its furnishings. Okay, cool. its glass and its supports, its crossbars and its pillars and bases, the covering of ramskins dyed red, and the covering of fine leather, the curtain for the screen, the ark of the testimony with its poles, and the mercy seat table and all its utensils, and the bread of the presence, the pure gold lampstand with its lamps arranged, and all its utensils, as well as the oil for the light, the gold altar, the anointing oil, the fragrant incense, the screen for the entrance to the tent, the bronze altar with its bronze grate, its poles, and all of its utensils, the basin with its stand, the hangings of the courtyard, its posts and bases, the screen for the gate of the courtyard, its ropes, tent pegs, and all the furnishings for the service of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and the specially woven garments for ministering in the sanctuary, the holy garments for the priest Aaron, and the garments for his sons to serve as priests. The Israelites had done all their work according to everything the Lord had commanded Moses. Moses and had accomplished. They had done just as the Lord commanded them. Moses blessed them. What do you have? You have a bag? Thank you. I see it. I like it. It's pretty. Setting up the tabernacle. 40. The Lord spoke to Moses. You are to set up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, on the first day of the first month. Put the ark of the testimony there and screen off the ark with a curtain. Then bring in the table and lay out its arrangement. Also bring in the screen for the entrance for the tabernacle. Position the altar of burnt offering in front of the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Place the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar and put water in it. I feel like that was a lot right there. Assemble the surrounding courtyard and hang the screen for the gate of the courtyard. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and everything in it, consecrate it along with all its furnishings so that it will be holy. Anoint the altar, burnt offering, and all its utensils. Consecrate the altar so that it will be especially holy. Okay, I see that. No, you're not throwing them outside. No. I told you if you're good, we'll go outside. So go be good. And then consecrate it. Then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of the meeting and wash them with water. Clothe Aaron with the holy garments. Anoint him and consecrate him so he can serve me as a priest. Have his sons come forward and clothe them in tunics. Anoint them just as you anointed their fathers so that they may also serve me as priests. Their anointing will serve to inaugurate a permanent priesthood for them throughout their generations. Moses did everything just as the Lord had commanded him. The tabernacle was set up in the first month of the second year of the first day of the month. Moses set up the tabernacle. He laid its bases, positioned its supports, inserted its crossbars, and set up its pillars. Then he spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering of the tent on top of it, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Moses took the testimony and placed it in the ark and attached the poles to the ark. He set the mercy seat on top of the ark. He brought the ark into the tabernacle, put up the curtain for the screen, and screened off the ark of the testimony, just as the Lord had commanded him. Moses placed the table in the tent of meeting on the north side of the tabernacle outside the curtain. He arranged the bread on it before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded him. He put the lampstand in the tent of meeting opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle and set up the lamps before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded him. Moses installed the gold altar in the tent of meeting in front of the curtain and burned fragrant incense on it, just as the Lord had commanded him. He put up the screen at the tent to the tabernacle. He placed the altar of burnt offering at the entrance of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and offered the burnt offering and the grain offering on it, just as the Lord had commanded him. He set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar and put water in it for washing. Moses, Aaron, and his sons washed their hands and feet from it. They washed whenever they came to the tent of meeting and approached the altar, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Next, Moses set up the surrounding courtyard for the tabernacle and the altar and hung a screen for the gate of the courtyard. So Moses finished the work, the Lord's glory. The cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses was unable to enter the tent of meeting because the cloud rested on it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. The Israelites set out whenever the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle throughout all the stages of their journey. If the cloud was not taken up, they did not set out until the day it was taken up. For the Lord was over the tabernacle day by day, and there was a fire inside the cloud by night, visible to the entire house of Israel throughout all the stages of their journey. And we have finished the book of Exodus, and we will be starting Leviticus tomorrow. I'm trying to get more than 2 chapters a day to speed it up, because I've already read the New Testament but I'm in the Old Testament now. So technically I've already read the Bible all the way through, but I figured we could do it together. So if you guys haven't read Genesis or heard Genesis, you should, because now we're on the third book of the Bible. And my plan is to read it all the way through with you guys. Because I've read it all the way through, I think, twice in my life. And then I just pick up the Bible, pick it up, and just open up to wherever I feel like reading or wherever it happens to open up to. I don't know. I try to read every day. I feel like it's good